I let someone take the blame for something I did, and I never admitted it. Not to them, not to my parents, not to anyone. It's been more than a decade now, but I still carry it like a scar under my skin. I was just a teenager, but I knew exactly what I was doing. And the messed up part? I let them suffer so I could walk away clean. I'm 29 now, but back then I was 15. The middle child. Smart enough to know better, reckless enough not to care. I grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone. My parents were strict but respected. The kind of people who always wanted to look perfect to the neighbors. My older sister was the golden child. Honor roll, sports, never in trouble. My little brother was the baby, too young to be blamed for anything. Me? I was the difficult one. The one with an attitude. The one who always wanted more freedom. And maybe that's why, when everything happened, it was so easy to let someone else take the fall. Because deep down, I was tired of being the one always in trouble. It started with something stupid. Most bad stories do. One Friday night, a couple of us snuck out. Nothing wild, just junk food, cigarettes, bad decisions. We ended up at this little corner store near school. I don't even know what possessed me, but while the others grabbed sodas, I slipped a makeup kit into my bag. Lip gloss, cheap mascara, nail polish. Maybe $5 total. I thought I was slick. Heart racing, palms sweaty, but I thought I got away with it. Until the next Monday. We were sitting in homeroom when the principal came over the intercom. All students in Ms. Howard's class need to stay behind. The room went quiet, and then he said it. Someone had been caught stealing from the store. They had video footage. They couldn't see everything clearly, but they knew it was someone in our class. I felt my whole body go cold. My heart hammered so loud I thought everyone could hear it. The principal said if the person didn't confess, the store owner wanted to press charges. That's when panic set in. But here's the thing. I wasn't the only one who snuck out that night. And one of the girls I was with, her name was Kelsey, had been in trouble before. Everyone knew her family didn't have much money. Everyone knew she shoplifted once when she was younger. It was too easy for people to point the finger at her. So I stayed quiet. And when the whispers started, it was probably Kelsey. I didn't correct them. When the teacher asked if anyone knew anything, I shook my head. And when Kelsey got called into the office, I sat there and said nothing. I told myself a million excuses. If I confess, my parents will never forgive me. If I say something, I'll get suspended. Maybe even arrested. It's just some makeup. It's not the end of the world. But the ugliest thought? Better her than me. And I hated myself for thinking it. But I hated the idea of ruining my life even more. So I let her take the blame. Kelsey came back to class later that day with red eyes. She wouldn't look at anyone. By the end of the week, everyone knew. She was suspended. Her parents had to meet with the principal. The rumor spread around town like wildfire. Kelsey got caught stealing again. I watched her reputation crumble, and I just let it happen. She lost friends. Teachers treated her differently. Even years later, when people talked about her, they always brought it up. Remember when she got caught shoplifting? And all the while, I carried the truth like a knife in my chest. Let me pause and ask you something. If you were me, 15, Scared, cornered. Would you have spoken up? Or would you have done the same thing? Be honest. Drop it in the comments because I still don't know if I was just a coward or if I was acting like any other terrified kid would. I graduated. I went to college. I moved out of that town. But Kelsey? She never got out. I'd see posts on Facebook. Dead-end jobs, dropping out of school, drama with boyfriends. Every time I saw her face, I felt the weight of what I'd done. Because I didn't just let her take the fall for a stupid mistake. I branded her with something she never did. And maybe that label changed the way people saw her. Maybe it even changed the way she saw herself. A few years ago, I ran into Kelsey at the grocery store when I was visiting home. She looked tired, older than she should have. But when she saw me, she smiled. This small, sad smile. We talked for a minute. She said she was working at the store across town, trying to save up to go back to school. And then she said, "You know, people still bring up that shoplifting thing sometimes. I wish they'd just let it go." I wanted to say, it was me. It was always me. But I didn't. I just nodded and said, "Yeah, people can be cruel." And I walked away hating myself all over again. It's been over a decade now, and no one knows. My parents still think I was the good one. Kelsey still thinks she got unlucky. But I know I let her pay the price for my mistake. I know I let her carry a burden that should have been mine. And I don't know if I'll ever have the guts to tell her. If you're still here, I need you to tell me. Should I reach out? Should I confess after all these years? Or would that just reopen wounds she doesn't deserve to feel again? Because I swear, I've replayed both options in my head 1,000 times, and I can't figure out which is worse. Here's the thing. People like to think morality is simple, right or wrong, black or white. But when you're scared, when your back is against the wall, you realize how selfish survival makes you. I wasn't some evil kid. I didn't set out to ruin her life. But I chose myself over her. And I have to live with that forever. Here's the part that still haunts me. Last Christmas, my mom dug out an old photo album. Pictures from high school, dances, field trips. She pointed at one picture of me and Kelsey, arms around each other, smiling like the world hadn't turned ugly yet. And she said, "I'm glad you always picked the right friends. Some of those girls went down the wrong path." I just smiled and nodded, because the truth is, Kelsey didn't go down the wrong path. I pushed her down it. And then I walked away. So yeah, I let someone take the blame for something I did as a teen. And maybe the cruelest part isn't just what I did to her. It's that I got away with it.